Doing absolutely terrible. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. We have a very, very full schedule tonight because that one guy's tournament has officially finished, and we're going to be reviewing those games alongside some viewer games. So let's jump into it. What's good, chat? How's everybody doing out there? I am going to try and break out the recordings for that one guy's event. So both the regular stream video, when this eventually makes it up onto YouTube, as will be truncated, as well as trying to get those separated and make them their own video. Point being, warning for everybody, we're going to do the whole YouTube intro thing once again. I don't know how much we're actually going to get to play tonight, truthfully, because there's a whole bunch of reviews. I want to, let me see, but I do plan on, as Chad is getting excited about, some Cult of the Lamb at the end of the stream. Because the Cult of Chomp is doing pretty well. We're doing pretty well so far. And now that the extension is working, hopefully, we can actually get some of the, a little more chat interaction on this. So, in the meantime, let's jump into a viewer game review. This one's obviously from Bozo, and we're jumping into this one. So the notes here. Quick aside, everybody, before we get into the actual content, I was accepted into the Phobies Content Affiliate Program, the content creator program, you might call it. Shout out to the Phobies team, and thank you for that. But the reason I'm telling you, everybody out there, dear viewer, dear listener, is to let everybody know that I do receive some compensation from the Phobies team as a result of being part of that program. Now, I loved Phobies before, and I still love Phobies now, and I expect I will still continue to love Phobies in the future. So look forward to more Phobies content coming from Random's Thoughts. So now, on with the show. I got early control of the map, but slowly lost it. At this point, I had done a good amount of heart damage. For some reason, my opponent started to play really aggressive and was able to sneak myself to their heart and win. So we're on Scoposium, which is, I don't want to say my least favorite map, but it's definitely not one of my favorites. It's a very awkward map. It's a very awkward map. You know, Chad, I don't know if I posted in the official Phobies Discord. Hold on one second. I want to make sure that I actually... So aside from the weird opener here, we do start to get more normal in the Quagmire play, but the bad guy here is introducing us to Rambolina very early on. Which, while I can appreciate, because you can take this middle spot, it's a... Going second, it's a larger snowball. Sort of. I mean, I don't know. It's a little weird. This Ginsting positioning is also a little weird. You could be here instead, and then still get the stem, but also threaten this spot. So that seems like a minor mistake, but it's not that big of a deal. Because the idea here is if the Ginsting was already in position, you could kill this Cowbell and just get it off the board. Eliminating your opponent's one-drops, as I mentioned before, and we were talking a little bit about it last night, is important to reduce their board presence so they can't just back-cap panic points and things like that. And by the same token, conserving your own one-drop so that way you can get more value out of them as the game progresses is important. So we get, this is Repeller, right? I always mix them up, but yes, this is Repeller. A little weird on this map. Well, maybe not. The 3 range means it can sit here and still potentially boop things that are, you know, on the healing spot, for example. Kind of relevant. Plus, we get the double boop setup, but bad guy here has allowed our hero Bozo to just control the entire map. I mean, I don't really know about this Cowbell invade. That's a little weird. Not real clear on that one, but sure. So Cowbell goes down without putting up much of a fight. But obviously we're going to see a dead Cassowary here. This maybe didn't need to happen. Like, yes, I get capping the point early, but Cassowary is a valuable resource to just kind of throw away like this. Now, given the fact that you, as the hero, already have Spider on the board, you can threaten a lot of different things, because your opponent has to honor it, or they should. If they don't respect the Spider, then you're going to introduce them to a really bad time. And we get a bank to 11 by the hero, bank to 7 by our bad guy. I imagine we're going to get a yoink here, but there isn't really enough damage to follow this up. Like, yes, you can hit it with Ginsting, you can hit it with the Quagmire, but I think you have to back off here. Yeah, gonna walk away here, gonna try and prevent the invade here on the heart, which, realistically, I don't know if there was ever gonna be one. This is just kind of threatening it. It's another one of those respect me scenarios. You have to do something, you can't just let me do whatever I want. This is pretty bold by bad guy here. So we have a level 8 fish tank as well as a level 10 sheeping gas sitting here on top of this spider. I don't know, that... They aren't really out of position. Like, what are you going to do? Yoink the fish tank and then hit it with erratic? Like, that's not really what you want to do. So, even panic points at this stage. Alright, Quagmire goes in. Makes sense. It's already down there. This is a dead jar if bad guy wants it. Ooh, we're going after the sheep, huh? Alright. I imagine you have to hit it with the Ginsting in order to do this. Wait, really? Okay, so this is weird for a variety of reasons. I guess this can't die right now. 635, 14, 17. The erratic can't die, and as we've talked about on many occasions before, erratic is not sheep is not a great answer to erratic in a lot of scenarios. And here, it's going to be able to leech life. I'm still a little surprised that... Really? I guess the boop is okay. So that preserves everything. I was going to say that I'm a little surprised that the sheep didn't go in anyway, because clearly that sheep is on its last legs. I guess maybe you can stall to try and Clinico later. This looks like a really strong position for bad guy, truthfully. They still have a boop in the Rambolina ready to go, so if Bozo mispositions at any stage, you can end up losing a bunch of stuff. So, for example, do you trade Rambolina for its erratic here? Possibly. Because you can get in behind, you go 1, 2, 3, go here, and then I think it'll boop it up. I'm not sure. I mean, regardless, they're going for it. Is this just a dead erratic? Oh, no. This didn't have to happen, because remember, it got booped, so this thing walked into its death here. Now, admittedly, you end up with this position. Sheep on lava. Cassowary on lava. A lot of these things are likely... Like, these two are probably dead, and without too much trouble. But with the 3 range on the Repeller and the Ginsting right here, it does threaten something bad happening. So down goes Sheep. Cassowary presumably dies to the lava. 10 keys remaining for bad guy, 7 keys remaining for our hero. So it traded key evenly, but it's a 3-to-1 panic point advantage. You still have double boops online. Well, you had double boops online. I'm a little surprised that they didn't just kill this. I guess the fear was enough things come out of the vault. What level was that sheep? That was a level 10 sheep, I believe. Yeah, level 10 sheep. Sorry, Forgo, I missed that one earlier. But I'm a little surprised they didn't kill the Ginsting unless they were fearing, you know, a murder wing and something else come out of the stim. Out of the vault, and then annihilate the fish tank. That would kind of suck. But this means that we have a dead Ginsting.
Exquisite.
Because we're obviously going to get something. So Sparky's the last phobie for our hero. I don't think, calling back to Bozo's original notes, saying for some reason my opponent started to play really aggressive. I don't know if we've hit that point in the game yet, because they don't seem to be overly aggressive here. They were just kind of taking picks where they were. I don't know if ultimately they came out ahead in all these exchanges. 6, 8, 9, 10. 4, 8, 10. So they're even right now. Oh, that's a good boop. That's a really strong boop here. Honestly, right now, it feels like Bad Guy's doing a great job of just kind of pushing Bozo around. Now, that being said, Bozo's in position, has a spider, has Sparky, can definitely set up picks, but it's 4 phobies, well, 5 phobies, I forgot about Quagmire, because Quagmire's probably going to die soon, against an army. There's a lot of stuff for Bad Guy. Panic points do get evened up here. Quagmire naturally has to walk away. Actually, the Quagmire is not likely to die. Hey, Murky, you're welcome. Welcome. Just doing some viewer game reviews. So leaving the repeller there is kind of bold. Because you're not killing... you're killing the spider, but the repeller's just dead. Because the combination of these two will clearly kill it. Ooh, we do get the Quagmire takedown. That thing was lower than I thought it was. I didn't double check. Quagmire goes down. One shot the repeller. 4275 to 60. Honestly, it felt like Bad Guy had control of the panic points for longer, but I guess not. So at this stage, a good portion of the damage for the Bad Guy is down here at the bottom, so they need to rotate up like everything immediately. And I don't even know if that's going to be fast enough. They're just kind of dicking around down here. 3-to-1 panic point advantage. That damage will add up. Oh, they're going to try and race. Wait, did this Moly Bully only move one space? Or one... Where did it start the turn? 1, 2, 3... Oh, no, it moved a full amount. It moved a full amount. I'm doing well, Mercury. I'm doing well. Hope you're doing well as well. Hope everybody out there's doing well on this Saturday. Or if you're living in the future, Sunday. Yeah, so Bozo makes the right call here and just peels off. 1686, yeah, even with Fish Tank this close, all the stuff, like, you can't race this. You needed to defend. It's too late to pull back. Like, this means nothing. I guess the idea here is just get the panic points so that way you're not taking an absolute beating. But just these 2 phobies right here is enough. As you can see by the turn counter at the bottom. That was a good heads-up play by Bozo. Honestly, they just kind of overextended to the bottom, and I really thought that they had the panic points longer.
Now grind that pot.
So I'm a little surprised, but I guess I lost track of it as well, kind of like Bad Guy. And this is something that does happen. You have to respect the rotation from your opponent to just dive the heart. We've seen it a ton of times, so GG. Well played there, Bozo. Well played. Yeah, general strategy-wise, you gotta respect the rotation. Seems like I joined a little late. Yeah, we just did your game, Bozo. Just did your game. The Colosseum is a fun map. You mean Scoposium? This one? I don't really like this map. Alright, so who's the next one on the docket? Alright, we did the Bozo game. We got somebody new. Got somebody new. The only notes on this game are my opponent just played poorly. So let's see how poorly this went. The new map, Exponential Decay, new map. Really, it's renamed Rent Past Due. Still don't know why, but whatever. So, bad guy here is in the blue trunks. Good guy here is in the orange trunks going second. Get a fairly standard opener. I'm a little surprised that Droney just took this obvious one here instead of... It can't reach the far ones. Can it reach the middle? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, you could have gone middle. Point being is, like, you can cap... Go to the farthest one and then swing back. So I think you can go middle and then swing to the top and then swing back for this one. And then while you're capping those points, reinforce your position. So I know our hero's in the orange trunks, but, you know. The new name fits better than the old one? I guess. I don't know. The names are whatever. So in the meantime, we get some follow-up. We do get an aggressive push by our hero here in order to take this panic point. 1, 2, 3. So it is possible for this cat to die. Actually, it's 100%. 100% should die, but we'll see if it does. In fact, we do. We get... I don't like this positioning on the Gin Sting because you could still cover the center here. No matter what, the Crushmore does threaten... you know, lobbing a rock onto your Gin Sting no matter what. I guess this way, if you were planning on swinging the Droney back, this sort of protects the Droney. But this is what I expected to happen. Crushmore takes this. We get the Murder Wing swing into the bottom. Which this is kind of how this map goes. You have the one drops or whatever's trying to swing to the top and bottom corners. And then each person's Murder Wing is just kind of beating up on it. Trying to shoo it away in the meantime. So we do get a couple attacks going down on this Crushmore. Okay. You're likely to lose the cat here, because it's pretty safe for them to, like, hit and walk away and then Klepto in, because these are not going to kill the Klepto, or shouldn't. Level 9 Klepto should not be dead. This means a dead cat, which means that you either got to sink the Droney in, or... which means that the Droney probably should have been here, like in between these, so it can fly over and then also get a hit. Every little bit of damage helps, as compared to this, where it's sitting back here doing, like, nothing. Oh, no. Hold on. I didn't realize this was that low. 1,100 health on this. Oh, the hit went down here. I thought it went down on the cat. This went down on the cat. Oof. Big oof. That's a big oof moment. That really hurts. 5 keys down, and you can't immediately punish your opponent for this. Like, this seems bad. This is like throwing good keys after bad keys. You're down 1 panic point. You incinerated 5 keys, and now you're going to lose 3 more. Granted, it's a quote-unquote even trade here. You're trading off Murder Wings, but... So the bank from Bad Guy gets invested into a Mr. Tramples, which... I don't know. On this map, I pushed a Smother Mother into oblivion. I haven't gotten a boop on this map in a long time, truthfully. I think a lot of people... I mean, I booped things, but I haven't really booped things into the abyss. So we're just getting some reinforcement here. Speaking of boops, we get a Slammer Head. You'll love to see it. Get a Mr. Tramples. No Tramples charge. It's really just a beatdown going on down on Klepto, but oh no. Ooh, that is not where you want to be. This is one of those turns where you just know something terrible is about to happen. 2k health, and you're standing next to, like, their entire team. This actually doesn't look like it's going to be a kill unless I... Yeah, they're not going to bother. I think they could have killed this. This could have hit twice. The heal is not up. Would have been 9. So this would have lived. Hold on. They just not have enough damage. So, like, you hit tramples twice with this. We'll round it up to 1,000. Then you swing this up top, 1,400. You roll this down, 1,700. You roll this up. That's a dead Mr. Tramples. And they can't kill you. This is going to be heavily damaged because of the splash. And they can't even counter-kill the Klepto. Yeah, I don't... Am I miscounting this? This feels like I missed something here. But that could have been a dead Mr. Tramples, but regardless, we're going to have a very heavily damaged Mr. Tramples. We see the Morty doing its best Droney impression. It could die. You could send Tramples and Crushmore to go kill it, which would be funny, but realistically, I doubt that's going to happen. We're probably going to see a Mr. Tramples charge to end up, like, over here and damage something, I guess. Fish tank follow-up. Yep, there's the Mr. Tramples charge. Went in a different direction than I thought, but I don't know that it matters. Don't know that it matters. Get a little beatdown going on Crushmore. Yeah, this is... Honestly, chat, this feels like I'm watching one of my own games, and the bad guy is me, and just tilted after the Gin Sting play, and just can't get back in the rhythm. You know, like, once you fall out of a rhythm with Phobies, sometimes it can be tough, especially in a particular game, as opposed to following up and, like, taking a break, or thinking about what happened, whatever. Sometimes it's just difficult to not tilt off the face of the earth. Now, since that Mr. Tramples didn't die several turns ago, this is still... I mean, they have 7,600 health. The Mr. Tramples is still alive, although it's not going to be alive for much longer. But it was able to get some other stuff going. Morty is cheating. But this Klepto has put a hurt on the bad guy, that's for sure. We don't actually see the kill here on the fish tank, but it is heavily damaged. So either... Well, this isn't going to die. Neither of these are actually going to die. Wow. Bad guy has just constantly come out on the wrong end of these trades. Basically, every time our hero, Mike231 here, has been able to get a takedown, there's just no way for bad guy to follow up. I mean, look at this. That just feels terrible. You're in range of Morty, you're in range of this, you're in range of all this. Like, it's not going to go well. This is just a beatdown, chat. There's really no other way to describe it. Get a little Morty zap. Not quite enough damage to take down Stairmaster, but, I mean, does it matter? You'll get a kill, maybe. And then it's Thunder Rocks and Boom versus the world. I take it back. They'll get 2 because of AWOL. GG. This is one of those games that I'm going to say GG well played. Because Mike didn't do anything wrong outside of probably that Mr. Tramples play. There might have been a minor thing here or there, I guess. But ultimately, bad guy just offered up a lot of Phobies for freezies, essentially. Pretty much just for freezies. Now, past a certain point, the reality of the situation is that I think bad guy just kind of accepted the inevitable and was absolutely playing on tilt. Like, you can kind of tell when you're watching some of these games, or obviously when you're playing, when somebody's tilted, because they're out of sync. They're not really doing what they want to do, how they want to do it, and it's just once you fall behind, because there is no variance in Phobies outside of, oh, well, they have way more or way less stress levels, you know, the random pairing sort of thing. It's very difficult because Phobies is a deterministic game. Even a minor mistake can just quickly snowball into major problems for you. Because that minor mistake means, oh, they can... It's like give a mouse a cookie kind of thing. You give somebody an inch, they'll take a mile, because once you made this minor positioning mistake, you lost this minor phobie, you took damage when you didn't need to, you can snowball that into significantly larger advantages over the course of the game. Because if you're playing tight, you can leverage that to be, okay, I take this extra panic point, or I take a panic point one more turn than I was supposed to. I get another shot on something else. I get this other takedown later on that shouldn't have happened. All stemming from this initial kernel that happened way earlier. Do I play in Arena? Yes. Arena's my primary mode, Mercury. I personally am not a fan of async, although right now I'm higher in async just because I was accidentally winning games, for lack of a better way to put it. I feel like I was top 10 at one point in one season. I don't remember. I don't really keep track of it. I just kind of play whenever. Since we've been doing a lot more game reviews, I just play less frequently now, which is unfortunate. But it's fun doing the game reviews as well. So, which, by the way, if you want to get your own games reviewed, anybody out there, if you're watching this on YouTube, come by the live stream, RTChompGG over on Twitch. But check the links in the description for the Random's Thoughts Discord. There are instructions in there on how to do it. It's really not difficult. Hit up the Google form. It'll ask you for all the information I need, and then we can get your name in lights. Started the game 4 days ago. Nice. Nice. I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you're enjoying it. Phobies is a really fun game. What is 2103? Like, where does that put you? Nice, you're in primals already. Congrats. Yeah, Phobies is really fun. I really do enjoy this game. And, I mean, I wouldn't be streaming it if I didn't enjoy it. And I always find it hilarious that I almost didn't even know this game existed until somebody in my Discord pointed it out. But Phobies has gone on to become my primary game right now, and I expect it will be going forward in the future, because it's kind of... I've talked about this before. It satisfies just about everything that I want in a game, where it's a turn-based strategy game, but there's enough about it to get drawn in with the Vorthos, which, for anybody who's not familiar, it's a psychographic profile from the Magic the Gathering R&D team. It was originally Spike Johnny Timmy that was trying to describe the desires for certain players. So if you're a Timmy, you just want big numbers, big monsters. If you're a Johnny, you're looking for all kinds of weird combos and trying to make like these strange scenarios happen. If you're a Spike, you are the hyper competitive player and you don't care about any of the other stuff except winning. There were other ones added on, Vorthos being one of them. I think there were just two added on that I can never... I think Melvin was the other one, but I forgot what that is. But Vorthos is supposed to be... And it doesn't quite fit with the original 3 psychographic profiles, but Vorthos is supposed to be you get drawn in by the theme, the lore, and that sort of thing surrounding a game. So, in the case of, say, Magic the Gathering, you could be a Spike, but still get drawn in by the story of, like, the Elder Dragon. So you can have overlap, and of course somebody could be a Timmy and a Johnny at the same time, or a Spike and a Johnny at the same time, or Timmy and a Spike, etc. Like, it isn't, you are one of these things siloed. Typically there's overlap.
More rewards.
Lippy, you gotta shut up, man. Calm down. But when it comes to Phobies, I think that it's actually, for me, it's the combination of both the strategic play, the depth of the gameplay, as well as the fact that you can get drawn in by the cutesy Phobies. Like, I think the environment, all of the additional accoutrements for Phobies are spectacular. All of the little things, whether it's the flavor text, even the different types of Phobies. I love all these things about Phobies, and that's why I'm so attached to the game. And I think it's really cool. I don't know, every monster in Phobies I think is really cool. There's some that, you know, like the Droney series is a little boring. But even things like Boom, Kerbaloom, and Kaboom are amusing to me. And pretty much every Phobie has some redeeming quality about it, that even if I don't like the Phobie, or it's not a great Phobie, looking at you, Bad Sushi, although it has done a lot better in recent weeks, post-patch. Or at least it's gotten a lot more spotlight since the patch. Even ones that you can claim are bad might have niche uses, or are just cool. Like, yes, you may not get to use them all that often, but they're still fun to have them exist, sort of thing. So I really like this game. I'm really enjoying it. Alright, chat, we're back. Longer break than usual, just because I don't know what's going on, but I was feeling kind of lightheaded. I hope the review still went over well. That one guy's reviews for the event, that is. Because, like, right as I started it, as I got into the first game, the DT game, I just started to feel, like, really lightheaded, so I don't quite feel hungry, but I'm assuming that's it. I don't know, I'm just feeling weird all day today. I think it's just, I'm a little tired. More tired than usual, but I see Mac Attacks in chat. Full retreat after Noxious hit everything, gave me room to reposition everything. Yeah, I think the reaction was a little slow from your opponent, because it's one of those weird scenarios where the first mover has the advantage, right? Where you knew, or maybe you decided after you saw the reaction, but like, you knew you wanted to go hard. And we've talked about this a lot before in other contexts, but committing to a given game plan. So if you know you want to dive hard, you know you want to do this, you know you want to do that, just going for it. Your opponent isn't quite sure, and there was like on that retreat turn, they could have then immediately followed up and like tried to send everything to defend, to respect it, to a degree. I don't know that they could have completely done it. Like, if we go back and look at that, I won't include this in the video when I pull it out, but I think it's worth highlighting. Who was the good guy there in what, the Alien Engineer game, or which one are you talking about, Luffy? I'm so mad because I had a game that was corrupted where my Henrietta went ham on the heart, which caused me to win. You'll love to see that. Alright, so let's get to the pivotal turn here. Honestly, I think like, the Chuck here was, I guess too much respect was given to the Chuck. Another thing, like, what did this spider do all game? It yoinked a cat.
I feel like we've connected.
It didn't even kill the Cyclops with the poison. So here's where the poison goes down. Yeah, they were a bit slow to react, but I don't know if they could have done anything different. Yeah, that's what I want to check, Mac Attack, is because I'm not sure. It feels like they were. So this is the aftermath of the poison turn. Then we get this big retreat. So at this stage, even when I was casting, I wasn't expecting you to go in with Cyclops because it could get poisoned here. Ultimately, you did, because this is a tough call to make. Just about your entire team is in the south. And they still have a lot of heart health. Diving the heart from 5,300 health, that's a lot. Plus, you don't have panic point advantage. So it's like, that sounds insane. From this position, I don't think they need to do anything. I feel like they could have capped these points differently, which honestly might have been better or worse for defending the heart dive, because Contortio would have been here and would have died on the way, probably. Maybe it would have delayed you because you would have killed it. And then if Quagmire was down here, or Hevo, then that's one less thing to help defend. So I want to see the position at the end of this turn. So at this stage, I think you have to know that they're going for heart, right? Everything's got to come home right now. This should be dead. I think they do kill it. Spider goes in. And what do they end up doing on this turn? Yeah, this is dead. The Quagmire's at what? 1,300. Quagmire would have died. But it could have also been here instead of here. And yes, it would have taken damage, but I don't think it dies. And if you were to commit to killing the Quagmire, I think they can punish you. So I think putting the Quagmire here would have been better and just accepting some of the damage. I think ignoring the cat to keep Yoink off cooldown would have made it harder for me to position so aggressively. Yeah, the cat Yoink on this turn was weird. It seemed unnecessary. Where was the snowball? So it had to be there for the snowball to kill it. And I get the panic about, oh, well, they're going hard. I need to do something right now. But I'm not sure that they did. Because as you're saying, Mac Attack, the threat of a Yoink or a Boop or any of the abilities in Phobies can be as powerful as the ability itself. Because if, let's say Yoink is still alive, so Cat's still up there, and then you end the turn like this, if the Yoink is available here, what else could happen? This dies, you go down here, you pull this. It basically just gives you more options as the orange player. In that particular setup, I don't know that there was anything they could do about it. But sacrificing the spider does not seem like it was worth it. I wonder if that was a miscalculation of just, like, thinking Chuck was not going to be able to hit it. I'm not sure what would give you that idea, but... Once this position was established, I know I was doubting it a little bit in the review itself, but I don't think there's anything they can do from here. They needed to not do a full retreat. Well, where did they go to besides the Cyclops, which had to go all the way back? The thing is that they can't... I don't know that there's anywhere else they can go other than this. Because anything... If the Hevo's anywhere within range of Chuck, even a one move of Chuck, it's probably dead. This only has 700 health, so this and a Chuck hit kill it. And obviously they're going to be more than willing to sacrifice the Cassowary, and the Chuck is going to be out of range. Especially since the Spider is down. The Quagmire could have gone to, like, here. Quagmire's at 1,300 health, so that's 5, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4. Quagmire might have died, but it's unlikely. Because it would have to be... No, Quagmire definitely could have died, because it would have pulled this in. But again, then that would have caused different positioning. Just a combination of using Yoink and pulling back meant I could do anything. Absolutely, absolutely. I'm with you there. Then I guess the invade to get Hematic was too costly. It might have been, like, this dive might have been the game, even though it doesn't seem like it. Because I don't know that... Because remember, and for anybody watching this afterwards on YouTube, this is... Whoa, that's a weird place to stop. This Gin Sting goes down here. We'll skip to the end of this turn. After the Gin Sting, Hematic Gin Sting invade, we get the counter response by killing the plain Gin Sting. Leaving this. If this has to come back, which it does, or you lose it, it has to run all the way back. I think it ends up here. It could have been here instead. At the time, it probably didn't look like it made a difference. I don't know what A-Trend's collection looks like, but I have to wonder, was the snowball the appropriate response? So, did they have access to Evo 3.0, for example? Because that probably would have been better, because you know if they're diving hard, all of this stuff is going to be clustered. So you should get a lot of value from the AoE, but maybe not. So, if we assume the Cyclops has to go back, alright, that makes sense. Neither of these can be in range of anything, because if they are, they die. Even the Quagmire on the healing spa probably dies. I think we counted up before, and it does. So, like, Hevo... I think the biggest issue here is I don't think the Heart Dive went through A-Trend's mind, or that maybe it did, but not that you were necessarily going to commit to it, Mac Attack. I think that's the reason. Hey, salesman, what's good? Because otherwise, you could have swung things to different positions. Possibly, but even then, I don't know. I think the Ginsting dive might have been the game. Because then it just damaged everything. Where it's one of those game theory things where, okay, well, if I do this, then you're going to probably do this. Which means that I probably have to do this. And it just keeps going down that decision tree of this is the next best logical response. But ultimately, because if we assume that this invade on Ginsting, the Hematic Ginsting, was a bad invade, then it, similar to the discussion I started out the stream with, where it's these small incremental mistakes that snowball into a loss later on, because I'm not sure. And YouTube, when you're watching this, let me know down in the comments, or chat, let me know now if you feel differently. I don't know. I mean, yes, don't use the yoink. Yes, don't invade, maybe, whatever. If we assume that those decisions are going to be made, what is the next follow-up answer? By the way, if they went Hevo 3.0, it couldn't kill the cat, but again, I don't think that should have happened. So Snowball has to happen in order to kill the cat. There's just not enough time to traverse, get into position, and then attack. You have to think about defending Heart Dives as a 1.5 or 2 turn process of, like, you just have to travel the distance. Then you have to get into position and not just die to what amounts to a bad invade. Where, like, oh, I'm going to run right up to them, but not attack because I had to use full movement. And then my forces just get routed. And then they go on to win anyway. So you have to, like, get right up to them, and then you commit for only, like, a half-assed attack because you're only going to be able to get, like, a single swing from any given phobie. So that's why it's a 1.5 to 2 turn warm-up for this sort of defense. If that's the case, what I wonder is, instead of swinging this way, should, like, try and meet your forces in the middle. Like, assume that the Cyclops is going to get there. Like, send one thing. Maybe 2, I guess, these. But all of this... No, they didn't have time. It would have to be this turn. Like, this turn, all of this needs to dive these, and you just straight up don't have the damage. Because this is what, like 350? Plus another 650? 1,000? You're not killing this, you're not killing this. This isn't even in range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, this is the other piece, is that I called it out during the replay, that they're at 7 phobies, and this Contortio is, like, useless at this stage, so... Yeah, I think you caught them off guard with the hard push. I think that's ultimately what it came down to. Also, A-Trend said they actually switched from intending the hard push to killing all my phobies after killing the hematic. Interesting, okay. Honestly, I wonder if pulling back and then recommitting on your heart would have worked. Probably not, because you're in a better position. Like, you have all the tempo advantages here. But yeah, I think the turning point was that Hematic Instinct play. For what it's worth. More game reviews, chat. More game reviews. So we have a Menace game review. We'll do this and then maybe play a couple arena games. I need to let my blood sugar settle because I think that's what it was. I just was not feeling good. I was really trying to push to get through those games and it just didn't. I wasn't feeling great. So hopefully it turns out okay. But in the meantime, we have our hero here, Menace, in the blue trunk, zoning into Moai. Highlight reel, question mark? Those are the only notes on this game submission. So we'll see what highlight reels come in. What highlight plays come in. We get a single cat opener from our hero. No, never mind. I was going to say, I was looking at chat for a second. You get a murder wing and the cat. Reasonable opener here. Reasonable opener. We get a Murder Wing Cassowary as the bad guy response. This is interesting. It does shoo away the Cassowary, but it does kind of lock your... Well, I take that back. I was going to say that this locks your Murder Wing in a stalemate with the Cassowary, because if either one advances, the other one dies. But this Jinsting follow-up, who looks like he's grinning like an idiot. Look at this. Look at the smile on this guy. He's like, oh yeah, I'm going to kill that Cassowary. I'm going to eat him. Because this can swing down, hit the Cassowary, this can come over and meatball, or whatever's necessary in order to eliminate it, and then that's a dead Cassowary. So we get the, appropriate response, whatever follow-up, in this case, a Jinsting, and then the move from the Cassowary. It's one of those plays that you make just to force your opponent to honor it. Like, they have to respect it. If they don't, they die. And then you can just kind of walk away when it turns out the way it did. And we get a Cerberus. Chat, this is a turn 3 Cerberus. I know it says 5 at the bottom, but it's the third blue player turn. Cerberus, chat. Okay. We got some Cerberus action. I mean, if you're going to get Cerberus and start marching it to the heart, you got to do it early, right? We get a Flesh Crawler in response. The Flesh Crawler seems hell-bent on going face, given the positioning. Yes, it could swing to the bottom. This isn't... I mean, this is a level 6 Cerberus. This is a... level 4 Flesh Crawler? I mean, okay. Speaking of weird feet, chat, why does Cyclops have, like, toenail feet? If you look at it, it doesn't look like it's actually walking on, like, the point of the toe. It literally looks like it's long toenails that it's walking on. That has to be painful, right? I mean, granted, this thing also shoots, like, psychedelic laser beams out of an eyeball that it's holding with 3 arms. So, its definition of pain might be slightly different than mine, we'll say. But that doesn't seem like it's all that comfortable. This is a bold move, Cotton. I have to imagine that's a dead Jinsting. Because this is going to be 6, 11. Oh no, Meatball's down. So 9, we'll say. 13. This should be a dead Jinsting. And it's not necessarily going to be a dead anything in retaliation. Oh no. The bad guy has the fear. Did this not add up? It was 654, 854, 934, 944. 1344. 57? This was a dead Jin Sting, unless I'm miscounting, which is possible. And then you would have had Flesh Crawler, Jin Sting, and Murder Wing about to have Meatball up, ready to just clobber whatever's here. So they're playing with the fear. But we get the invade from the Cerberus. Actually, this positioning from the Stairmaster, I guess, is something they're going to come to regret, because you're either getting a dead Stairmaster out of this, or you're only getting one hit. Those are your options. So let's see which option they choose. I mean, even only getting one hit probably is a dead Stairmaster as well, truthfully, given all this other stuff. Even at... Ooh, look at that. That's a good thumbnail. That's a good thumbnail. 3448 for health on this thing, even at level 6. Still a mountain of HP. Now, granted, it can go down pretty quickly, but there's a lot of follow-up here to help clear everything out. Like, you can kill this Stairmaster here. Oh, wow. Do they kill it? Oh, no! Chat. Oh, no. Not like this. I mean, this is pretty decent as far as a response in general, because the Cerberus is probably dead. Unless something bizarre happens. Haha, you get the yoink. You love to see it. This is just annihilation, chat. We're gonna have to watch this turn again. Oh my god. The violence! Chat, would you watch this violence? This is gonna get rated R real fast just due to extreme violence. We get the yoink onto the Jin Sting. We get the bees onto the Eternal Knight. A little Cerberus action spreading the love around. We get a meatball to eliminate the jar. We get Cyclops finishing off the Stairmaster. And then we're just filling in beyond that. Monster kill is exactly right. Mega kill. I can see where the highlight reel comes in. I mean, honestly, chat, looking at that, I kind of expected the beginning of that turn. I think we all saw something heinous was going to happen, right? Somebody was about to have a very, very bad day, namely the bad guy here. Menace was absolutely trying to set up the walk the dog strategy. Although the paddles here kind of feels like, oh, by the way, I still had all these. But GG Menace, yeah, that one's clip worthy. That one's clip worthy. Now they can't kill Cerberus? True story. Seems okay, chat. That turn seemed okay. I just realized I didn't message that one guy back. Does it say what the story was? I'm going to try and get the breakdown for that one guy's event on YouTube this week. We'll see. By the time this goes live on YouTube, it's already there. But if you want to see, if you wanted to see the live action, me casting it as it happened, hit up the live stream, RTChompGG over on Twitch. Link in the description. Get the self-promotion in. By the way, likes and subscribes definitely help. But yeah, I was talking about it last night. I want to try... I'll make a Rocket Man out of you. I don't know. I've honestly tried, Luffy. I've really tried Rocket Man a lot. It is, I think, literally never worked out. The only time it's worked is I was already going to win. And I just Rocket Man'd like, for the sake of it, kind of thing. But I've absolutely had games where I'm like, I will win this game most likely. I'll Rocket Man just to try it, and then Rocket Man expressly loses me the game because it effectively is 6 keys that got lit on fire. So, I don't know. I can respect the power level of Rocket Man, I just can't get it to work. At least it got nerfed, though. I still don't think it needed to be nerfed. Like, I don't know. I understand I've had trouble using it at first, but I feel like I've gotten decent with the Unicorn. Unicorn's fine. I just don't... for example, I've seen a lot of people use it... How do I put this? For example, I lost a bunch of games against Claws when Claws was using Unicorn as a turret. The problem is Claws... Unicorn, I think, is like level 13 or something. So it has almost as much health as like my Jin Sting. Okay, yeah, that's a good Unicorn. But otherwise, it feels fragile enough that it's not really a turret. Because you can dive it and kill it. Alright, so game review that we're looking at now is Hypereat into Claws on Pluto. This is a map that people have been absolutely shrieking about. The notes on this, I almost got tilted when I couldn't two-shot as level 12 Murderwing, my level 9 Unicorn at the beginning, but then Boom and Motherlode completely changed the tide of battle. So we already know one of the significant moments in this game, although we may not see it on the replay, because I'm not sure whether Hypereat would have gone for it anyway, but we'll see. I did already, DT. Those are already done. I'm planning to get those in an independent video. I'm going to try and get that up this week. At least that's the game plan. We'll play it by ear, because I don't know how quickly I can get this stuff edited this week. So we're getting fairly normal stuff. I mean, the cat here was just a sacrificial cat. This is kind of bold, and I guess this was the turn where... Was this in range at the beginning of the turn? Yeah, so this must have been the turn where Hypereat was trying to kill this Murderwing and just could not with the Unicorn. So we end up with a trap here. This Unicorn's going to eat it, because obviously, like, there's way more than enough damage. The Boom follow-up is interesting. I presume it's just to cap a point, but... I don't know, I'm not a huge fan of Boom other than just capping points, because it's just... The health on it is just so low that it's difficult to... Like, you can't even forward position it in order to... Because if it was up one space, Claws could invade and kill it. So we get double turrets set up, the bane of my personal existence right now. And Poison Ivy. So, I mentioned before that I feel that Poison Ivy might be an answer to Stabby, but I'm not sure, because A, I don't have it, and it just doesn't show up all that often. Droney kills Boom? Yeah, exactly. Droney might literally, like, level 1 Droney, level 1 Boom, one-shot Boom. Ah, so we get the Honey Bear. This is actually pretty good. This is going to be strong, because if Claws tries to take... Well, any of the panic points or the stem, it doesn't matter. Honey Bear is going to shut most of it down. Henrietta doesn't, though. Interesting. Henrietta does not one-shot Boom. So we get the power down on the stem and both panic points. Honey Bear has been huge on this map in a number of game reviews that we've done. I haven't actually tried it myself. I keep meaning to. Yeah, absolutely, Circin Shade. Absolutely. Any questions anybody has, and if you're on YouTube, you want to come by the live stream, RTChompGG over on Twitch. You can see the link in the description, as well as the Discord. But feel free to ask any questions. More than happy. So we got the bank to the inevitable Motherlode. Crushmore on the other side. Both players are maxed on Phobies, so this is going to be an awkward spot for Claws to try and claw out of this. But we shouldn't have too many more turns on this Mud. Yeah, this should be the last turn. Motherlode is something you don't see very often. Is Motherlode rare or is it uncommon? Motherlode is rare, so I mean that kind of explains it, but it's big enough to tank some hits from this if Hypereat was going to be aggressive about it, but they're choosing not to. Probably going to wait for the mud to come back online. So we get the leap from Cassowary into a whole bunch of hits in order to eliminate this. But oh, they're not killing Bowmangles. Are they going to kill Bowmangles this way? Alright, so Bowmangles does in fact die. I was a little surprised for a moment. And then we get an invade. This is interesting from Claws. 6 keys bang, so I imagine the goal is to try and trade some of these things out for more significant phobies. More relevant phobies at this stage. But I have to, like, the boom is now, like, this whole setup is weird. You invade with basically everything. I mean, it was literally everything, but just about everything was in range of boom once the Cassowary was eliminated. Only the Murder Wing is going to be spared, and that clearly dies due to the Stabby. So boom is going to come in, annihilate this stuff, then Motherlode's going to beat it up. Alright, the hit goes down on Stabby instead of Murder Wing. Presumably to get it in range. Oh, okay, that's better. Yeah, that's better. Look at that. Chad, I think this is a highlight reel turn. So you look at this. We got the invade from Claws on the previous turn. You get the elimination of the Cassowary, and I think anybody out there watching, if you're a fan of explosions and action movies and cool walkaways, this is one for you. You get the boom, which is going to detonate after some softening up of the Stabby. Why does that matter? Well, guess what? That Motherlode is primed and ready to go. It is also now on a stim and juiced, and oh, look at all the little booms. Boom, baby. That is brutal. That's super strong. That's why I love Motherlode here. If you can get it, it seems real good. Seems real good. Now, admittedly, Claws is not out of it. They bring, I was going to say Stabby, I don't know why. Zappy onto the board. Zappy clearly can answer Motherlode if allowed. But speaking of Stabby, Stabby is still alive. And that's a Honey Bear kill. You don't see that every day. Now, it's 4 panic points to 0. So, our hero, Hypereat, does need to do something. Honestly, nah, I was going to say maybe it was worth, like, sending the Motherlode in to cap a point, but it's way too late for Stabby. I keep saying Stabby for Zappy. I mean, yes, that would appear to be the case. That would appear to be the case. Is this Zappy's end? Not this turn, but soon, because Zappy can't quite kill that Motherlode quickly enough. Stimmed up Motherlode is pretty good, chat. Seems pretty good. Well played, Hypereat. Well played. Yeah, that invade seemed to be ill-advised. Aggressively ill-advised, but well played. So is Wooly Bully good? I've made a lot of strong monsters hit like wet noodles and get ganged by low cost. For the most part, I don't like Wooly Bully. I don't think it does enough. I've seen it put to good use. The challenge I have with Wooly Bully is it just doesn't seem to actually push enough damage on its own. So it's like, okay, I power something down. Great. They just walk away for a couple turns. If your opponent continues to try and interact with you, or you're already in a bully position, you know, you can push them away. Like, they needed this one, they needed one phobie to be able to launch their invade, their push, and you power it down with Wooly Bully to turn it off. Great. Yeah, they're in bad shape. But for the most part, I've not seen Wooly Bully do a whole hell of a lot. I would like to use it more in order to try and figure out what's going on, but right now my Wooly Bully, if I remember correctly, is pretty under-leveled. So I kind of gave up on it. Yeah, it's only level 6, so it's not... Basically, it's the power down, and then that's it. As compared to, say, Boo Fairy, which I know a lot of people don't like, yes, Boo Fairy has a melee power down, but obviously it's way more. And it does a ton more damage, whereas Wooly Bully just doesn't... It doesn't push a lot of damage, it doesn't have a lot of health. The power down isn't that much. It just feels like there are too many concessions, because if it was much better, it would probably be really, really good. That being said, it could be fine. I just haven't gotten a lot of value out of it at all, for the most part. Next monster, Sparky. He's level 4. I use him 3 times. Sparky is mostly terrible. I really don't think Sparky's that good. It's not actually terrible, but it just never feels like it's good enough. Now, here's the caveat. I used to feel that things like Erratic would absolutely Zappy, for that matter, absolutely outclass Sparky. And it's like, why would you ever want Sparky? But I need to go back and look at the spreadsheet and confirm whether this hits certain breakpoints on level, that sort of thing. I don't even know if it's worth it if they go heavy mechs. I've beaten plenty of Sparkies and lost to heavy mechs with Sparky. Like, I legitimately I don't think I've ever seen Sparky win a game. Sparky may be on the winning team, but I don't think at any point have I witnessed Sparky win a game because it was specifically Sparky, as opposed to just a large ranged unit, if that makes sense. Obviously, it's supposed to be anti-mech. This is a general phobie thing. Where I don't believe there's very many, if any, phobies that are actually useless. It's just how niche are their uses. So, for example, Sparky, clearly for mechs, right? Can you make anti-mech work enough for this to matter? Is that scenario going to come up realistically? Will it solidify a win? Maybe. Someone used Sparky on me because of Blastomatic, and I shoved it into the pit instantly. I mean, that'll work. I don't know. I don't like Sparky, but I really need to go back to the spreadsheet and look at the numbers to see. Because it could just be, and this is the problem I have with a lot of people doing tier lists, is you really need to calculate under the assumption that everything is an equalized level. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. Because if my Sparky's level 20, it doesn't even matter if you have mechs. It's just an enormous ranged unit. It might as well be Barzilla then, but for one key cheaper. So if that's the case, yeah, it's good. But I think that, I don't know how many people do evaluate it under those circumstances. I'm not a big fan of worrying about tier lists at this stage, so. Alright, chat, we're going to do this game review. Mercury actually is a first-time viewer from earlier tonight. Mercury got the follow. I don't know if Mercury's still in chat, but we're going to jump in. So Mercury versus Joker. No notes on this. Just thanks for watching. Well, thank you for watching, Mercury. So we're back on Lights Out. As mentioned earlier when I was playing on it, arguably the worst map in the pool and probably my least favorite map out of all the maps. I really hate this map. I got to try other strategies and see what I want to do. But Mercury's opening up with Murder Wing, as I tend to do, which may or may not be a good idea then, because I've been losing a lot on this map. But Gravedigger and Cat are the answer from the bad guy. We're going to get a dead cat shortly, because obviously the jar will eventually take this down, if not with help. But we do get panic points going to bad guy here, because of the Gravedigger rotation and the cat in the north. So cat obviously dies. Murderwing's just going to slide back up. This is dangerous, hypothetically. It's only 3 keys, though. This is a level 5 Murderwing. So, in all likelihood, they're not going to have another 500 damage plus to kill this off of 3 keys. That's just unlikely. I didn't double check the stress levels, but I imagine, given what we're looking at, we're not seeing a snowball or something. So, we get a bow mangles. Turrets have been showing up a lot for obvious reasons. I'm still of the opinion that the turrets could get toned down. Specifically stabby, but to a lesser degree, bow mangles. So after that, the invade here is a little weird. This is presumably a dead gravedigger. I guess they just didn't want to save it. The Rambolina kind of feels like I have it, so I'm going to use it. Yes, you bank to 6, but I don't know if it gets you anything here. And we get Stairmaster, which is somewhat fragile. This jar is also, like, in the middle of nowhere. I guess it's hiding from the Murder Wing. It can't really be anywhere else or it dies. You'll dance him from the enemy Murder Wing. And we're just kind of building up here, but our hero does have a 2-to-1 panic point advantage. Is going to have a positioning advantage. Yeah, the bow mangles is still very healthy, so they can't just pick it off with Rambolina and Jar or something like that. I don't even know if that would be worth it, but this is going to be a tough position for our bad guy to siege. So we do get a boop, which will result in a dead Murder Wing. That's actually a good boop, so maybe this won't be so difficult to siege. Maybe this won't be so difficult to siege. And we get the follow-up turret. Yeah, so our hero here is going to have to be on the retreat, depending on what their 7 keys get invested into. They do have 2 open slots now to try and play something. 1,200 health on the Rambolina. Yeah, the bow mangles can tank the lava for a little while longer. I don't think that's the end of the world. So you traded Murder Wing for Rambolina here. That seems pretty good. 1,000 health on here. It's going to be beat up. It could die, but that necessitates an invade. And they may want to pick off the jar instead with the Murder Wing. But if they do that, the Murder Wing dies, and then bow mangles live. So they're kind of... You got to choose. You don't even necessarily... This is effectively going to be Jar and Stabby versus this board and 6 more keys. Oh, they're going for the Jar. Nice. This is well played. Like, this is a good play. Because you can slide Ginsting up. Bow Mangles kills the Murder Wing. And 2-to-1 panic point advantage. The Gravedigger here is interesting. I'm not really sure what its purpose is. But bad guy has 6 keys remaining. They go for Erratic. That is not what you need right now. I think you kind of just all in the Stabby, and then you can just walk away from the Erratic for the rest of the game. I mean, it's not really all-inning it, but you get what I mean. It's pretty close to all-in. Yeah, at this point, you break the top, because you can. I don't know if this was intended by our blue player, but this makes sense. You end up losing the bow mangles in the process, but it's 4-to-1 phobie-wise, 3-to-0 panic point advantage-wise. There's really nothing our bad guy can do here. Even have 1 key to spare in case you have to back cap something. The bad guy here is looking like me. This is looking bad. Can you kill the Erratic here? No. Otherwise, all that stuff would have stayed. Just get a free shot on it. Even get a trap. Although it's not going to step on the trap. It's going to fight the Erratic. Or fight the Erratic. The Erratic is going to fight the Unicorn, I guess. But everything's on the heart. Obviously, a number of turns of panic point advantage. There's just no way for bad guy to get out of this. GG. Well played. Just watching the final death throes. GG. Well played, Mercury. Thanks for submitting the game. And if you want to get your own game reviewed, hit up the Random Thoughts Discord. It'll be in the video description as always. So I have an ultra rare. It's Heartbreaker. You got me the win only once because I had Cerberus up and used him to pull Squishy into Cerberus range. Heartbreaker is ridiculous, Sirkin. It's actually really, really strong. It's obviously difficult to get to, but on a number of maps, you can set up some really oppressive plays. Like, it's very difficult for your opponent to react to them. Pretty much as always, pulls are going to be better than pushes. For example, the game I played earlier on Exponential Decay, if I had 2 pulls instead of 2 pushes, I think I'd probably win that game. Because I don't think that there was any way that they could have punished the pulls or counteracted the pulls the way they could with the pushes. Yes, the game would have played out drastically differently, but, you know. Alright, here we go, chat. On Biff's room. Yeah, Heartbreaker is one of the best phobies in the game, I think. Because, notably, you can just drop a phobie into an Abyss tile. So you stand next to the Abyss tile, and if they're within 3 range, you know, like the range of Heartbreaker, you can just pick them up and drop them in the Abyss tile and kill them. The squishiness matters, but it doesn't matter that much. The idea is just you have to ensure that you're getting 8 keys worth of value. That doesn't literally mean you have to kill 8 keys with Heartbreaker. It just means that you need to get 8 keys worth of value. Which I know is repeating the same statement. On the bigger maps, Heartbreaker is just bonkers. Even on small maps, Heartbreaker can be really strong, but it just kind of depends. We're gonna go with this. I don't really want to go stabby into stabby, but I'm still unclear as to what my stabby answer is. This will do 908. Alright, so I was debating, like, spitting a fireball on this, but we can't. I don't care about the creep. It's pretty much irrelevant. Because we'll just muffin this. But that means that we gotta send everything to the north here. Our opponent banked to 4. We can't quite kill this. Must be nice having a muffin. Yeah, it absolutely changes things. Heartbreaker, due to its such low health, is probably a phobia you can use underleveled and get decent fair usage out of. I don't think it has anything to do with the health. I think it's just the ability, because the ability is independent of the health, so... Yeah, the levels aren't going to give you much more health to change that, but it's the ability that matters. 2 MVPs have been Pterodactyl and Baby Snakey. Honestly, I was very excited to get Baby Snakey, and I just haven't used it, like, at all. I can count on probably my hands how many times I've utilized Baby Snakey in a game, and I've seen it from my opponents even less. Take that for what you will. Aside from that, Pterodactyl I go in and out of love with. Like, I love the phobie as a phobie, but Pterodactyl itself, I'm not a huge fan of. Sometimes. Sometimes I love the phobie, like I said. Sometimes I just can't stand it. It just kind of depends on how it's been performing for me lately. I think I overuse it, and that's why. I've been using Snakey a lot recently now that I got it leveled. I really like it. It has a huge damage output. Like an enormous amount of damage. This doesn't matter. We're gonna have to do something like this. I wanted to get a Jin Sting, or some other 4-drop, but in order for us to dive this stabby, we need another high damage output. Yeah, Pterodactyl can just take over a game. It's so mobile and it has a high damage output. It's difficult to kill sometimes. But I think I personally overuse it, and as a result, I see all the bad scenarios where that, you know, it doesn't work out that way. So we can't get on the stabby now. This positioning is just super awkward. Theirs does, we'll say, 908 plus 1360 something, 1660 plus that. So we had an opportunity to move the stabby a couple turns ago, and we didn't. Now it's too late, I think. If we move this up, they slide this back and then kill it with the cat. We move this up, it dies. Basically, I can't advance safely, is the problem. We're gonna trade poorly here. I can feel it. But we're going for it. There are phobies you saw that you never saw others use? Wait, yeah, these were my phobies that I never saw others use. Oh, okay, I got you. I got you. Yeah, you will pick up on certain phobies get used a lot more than others. I mean, that's just kind of how it goes. Honestly, this setup was terrible, chat. Like, our opponent's going to be able to punish us super hard. I gotta stop tilting. But I kind of can't. I can't stop. That's not great. We can leave this here and come up this way. If we go here, it possibly just dies, but if they do that, then... If they come for the cassowary, that means they're leaving these alive, I think. They have 4 keys banked, but nothing other than Jar can reach. Well, they could have Snowball. So they're going to kill the stabby without having... Like, whatever gets pulled can just back off. Jar can't reach there. You have to do it with the Murder Wing, which I think is what they're trying to test. Or they were fighting the controls like I usually do. So ultimately, I think they came out ahead on this. I think they came out ahead. Bees is down, so we could actually go, like, here. They have 4 keys banked. They have 7 total, so they're... I mean, they're up 1 key because they went second, technically, I guess. I don't know what 4 we want after this. I'm not sure that I have a 4 that I care about that's better than this. Maybe we could have gone a 2 and a jar, a 2, and a 1-drop might be what we want to do. Oh, we just lose jar here. I was positioning it so I could kill their jar, but we just lose jar here. They still have to body block their jar or we end up killing it, but... This was one of those that I mentioned earlier where it's like, I don't think that Honey Bear... I don't know if I want Honey Bear here. To what, turn off one of their panic points? I don't know about that. Honestly, Primate was one of the 4 drops I was considering. And I don't hate it here.
Oh, that will leave a mark. That was quite cathartic.
So this kills Cassowary. This will kill this. We're left with Jar and Jin Sting, so we need a way to kill this with 3 keys. Speaking of Baby Snakey. We're gonna try it, chat. I don't know. But yeah, I actually was considering Primate, in all seriousness. Mine's a little underleveled, but it's the same one as this. It's a level 8. It's not hugely underleveled, but... So they could safely kill this with Jar if they wanted to. But realistically, it's these 3 against their current team and, I guess, this and a 1-drop. Hey, Ando, what's good? So we have to kill the Primate. That's the priority. Question is how. I don't think we can. I think we're dead, chat. Can't move the jar because it'll die if we leave it here, because Leap is down right now, so that's fine. We don't quite have enough damage to one-shot the rest of the primate with just Baby Snakey, so we have to commit 2 things. Like, we either have to Baby Snakey and Jar, or Jin Sting and Jar, or Baby Snakey and Jar, whatever. Like, 2 of the 3. You get what I'm saying? You got a fever, Rhonda. That sucks. I hope you're feeling alright. I mean, aside from that, or you're gonna feel better, is really what I should say. Obviously, you're not feeling alright. So this is 1028, 546. I think we survive a combo of these, but that's not good enough. That's 5, or 1020. We said it was 5. We should tank this. Unless I'm miscounting, and if we're miscounting, then I just lose. I don't know if this is worth it, because we may not be able to kill everything safely, but... Eternal Night causing problems? I mean, it's a high damage output Phobie, but that's the only thing that I'm worried about here. Wait, what? That is pretty weird, Onda. But I mean, literal fever dreams will do that to you. Literal fever dreams will do that to you. What do you got for us? Alright, so we sniped their Jar. And they can't hit with 2 of these things, so like the Jar is safe right now. So this is 5,020. This will live, so we might as well leave this here. So that way I can immediately kill whatever's there. Because they can move up this way, swing over, and leap. But both of these can't connect on this. They don't have enough surface area, so... Taco, I will say you're consistent. Because it always seems to be roughly about that topic. Or I feel like chat's been on that kind of theme as of late. Honestly, I think we won this game, assuming I win it and I don't throw it, because that has been a theme also tonight. We have won this game solely due to levels. Solely due to levels. Because like that last turn was 100% just on the basis of numbers. Their stabby was under level compared to ours. There was no way that, like, I think we lose this if our opponent had Phobies at the same level as us. But GG. GG. We take those wins anyway, chat. You take those when you can get them. Believe me, you haven't seen anything yet. Alright, let's see what we can do here. Let's see what we can do here. This is a little weird because I can just cap this now, unless they send creep to the top. I don't know if Snowball can make it back to get healed in time. If I swing over here, because they come up, they creep. 300. I think about 7, 8, 9. Because, like, if they put out a jar, I don't think I make it back in time. Unless I pre-stage the Clinico, which I don't really want to do. So if we send a Murder Wing anywhere up here to try and push this back, it gets vomited on, and that's also bad. I kind of want to bank, so we'll go with maybe K9. Could do Jar. Jar is probably better. Alright, let's see. Yeah, I don't like tilting on stream, but tonight I just can't, I've had other nights, honestly, where I was way angrier than I am now. But it just didn't come out as much. I don't know what's different about tonight that I feel so much worse about it. Well, I mean, I just said I don't feel as bad, but I don't know. I'm having more difficulty containing it, I guess is the best way to put it. Yeah, I'm not sure what's different, but it's absolutely different. Part of the reason I don't want to switch to variety is because I'm not going to enjoy it, like, at all. I'm gonna hate every second of it because I will just be thinking about Phobies the entire time. So if they swing around... Yeah, they can't do that or we yoink it into the pit. Because if they come up here, I can yoink with this, like, move up here and yoink it into the pit. I'm not sure what they're doing with this A-wall, unless they want to try and position it so that the creep covers the A-wall, I guess? I don't know. What are you doing, opponent? I'm quieter partially just because I'm so annoyed with everything. I don't really have much more input to add for this because I'm obviously not thinking straight tonight, so I don't really have anything to add to this, unfortunately. So if we pull this, it doesn't do anything, right? We can hit it with these. Whoop. It doesn't. This is a pretty high level. It's a level 8 Quagmire. I guess it's not that high level. Two, three. No, we can't do that. 1, 2, 3. We can do that. Alright, so they're still at 5 keys. I kind of want to threaten their heart and make them come down here. But how are we going to do that? We're going to try it with Crushmore. I don't know if this is really what I want. They can hit the jar with Creep, but kind of who cares? It's annoying, but it's not the end of the world. This is not enough damage to even push the Quagmire away. They have tons of time to react. Alright, this was inevitably going to happen at some point. It's fine. We'll send the cat in. We'll kill it with Klepto, I guess. I mean, we can't swing the jar back because the jar will die if we send it here. There's a variety of different ways they can get it. I don't want to have to spit on it with, like, this. Actually, we could use Inoculus or Hevo. Something for... Something mechanical. So that way it doesn't get poisoned. I mean, Klepto could work too. I want the Lobber. That's a Blinky. Alright, salesman, have a good night. Thanks for hanging out. I guess that's not horrendous. I don't know that I really like this, but we're going with it. I'm not sure the Inoculus is what we want here. They can beat the crap out of this, but not kill it. It'll be, say, 1,000 and change, 1,500 and change. They can't yoink anything but the cat. You can block him with Crushmore and attack the heart. That's the game plan. The problem is the flyer and all of this is in range. Like, I mean, now I can't block it. I was considering blocking where Quagmire is now, Mosca, honestly. I don't know. I'm not sure whether I want to do that. Now I will. I 100% will now. So, if we block this, they're going to have to, like, fireball it, otherwise they don't get a lot of surface area on it. They could swing this down, I guess. We'll end up having to get a Clinico. Probably Clinico over Muffin, I think. This is interesting, unless they're trying to swing this up here. It can't actually interact with the, you know what I might do instead? Hold on. If 5 keys. You move here, yoink, fireball. This can't hit. So it'd be, we'll say 3, 5 is 8, 6 is 14. What are the odds they can kill? 1, 2, 3. Because I'm thinking about doing this. The problem is that they kill the... No, game! Come on! I don't know if that's worth it, but I'm trying it. So the cat, because they left it alive, I'm body blocking with. That's why I body blocked with the cat, because they're going to have to expend damage in order to clear the cat, and I'm hoping that's enough. Oh no, they can just now pull it and do the same thing. God damn it. Yeah, I originally this is me tilting, chat. Like, I body blocked specifically with the cat so that they couldn't, because if they pull it, they likely just kill it. But now it's 100% dead anyway, so what the fuck was the point? Oh my god, I'm so angry, chat. I mean, the game plan is still on of going for their heart, but, like, I'm so tilted about making these idiot mistakes. Because this is kind of the setup I was afraid of doing the Pischetti pull, and then they just yoink the spider here, and then they just pop out 2 random things and kill it. So that's where the spider came in, or the cat came in, but obviously I was getting too cute about it. So they're gonna try and race me? Is that what's happening now? I don't think I can kill this thing either, which means that, like, I don't think I'm all in on this, or that I can win as an all in on this. I don't think so. I don't know. want to keep the slots open so we can push more damage. This is what happens when you tilt and play, chat. You do things like this. You still need more damage. We went Moly Bully because it's a higher damage output than most of the other things I had at that cost. So now we have to interact with their stuff, unfortunately. So now the jar is dead. Or this is dead. Oof. This is an L, chat. You don't have enough damage for this, do you? You might. I mean, Fireball down, I don't think you do. Oh, yeah, you do. Because you can yoink, you can kill it, and then step on it with this. Barzilla. Can even walk away. Fantastic. Maybe I would have been better off continuing to dive their heart. Obviously, leaving the spider alive was an error, but I don't think there was any way for me to kill it. Come on. We gotta try and kill this thing first. So the Inoculus is going to die to Barzilla and this. Unless this persuades the snowball to go north. This all started with the bad Pescetti pull, because if I had played it safer the way I originally was planning to, instead of taking this ridiculous line, we could have blocked out their team and then just been clobbering it with Crushmore. We wouldn't have pushed as much damage as quickly, but we would have been threatening them more. This one I'm not as angry about, chat, because I was intentionally doing something insane. I'm okay with losing if I was trying something to a degree. This wasn't really a learning experience, as I would call it, because I didn't really think this was going to work. But I guess technically I learned something. I don't know. So it looks like I'm going to be up all night playing games, chat. Because, stream or not, I'm going to be playing. What are you doing, opponent? I guess they are hell-bent on killing this thing, which makes sense, because that's the highest damage output. So they're gonna walk Snowball here, because they need a body block. Oh, really? I think you retake this point. Why hit the droney for literally no purpose? That does nothing. Because everything can hit now. If they body blocked here, they get the panic point.
Oh, their heart is new and loud.
GG.
My heart beats with anticipation.
That game was very silly. That game was very silly. I'm still not happy, but... The only reason I think I won on that map is because that map seems to be kind of dumb. I think that's about it. So like I said, we'll be back tomorrow, and we'll play some more Phobies. Until then, everybody, as always, thank you for listening, thank you for watching, and Black Lives Matter.